Hello, hello. Happy Friday, y'all. Welcome to the Weekly Chatter. I am your host, Joshua Harrell from Travel Quest Network, and it is my absolute pleasure to wrap up the week with you, as well as our members in our members only Facebook group. Now, you could be watching this anywhere on the web right now: Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, I mean, everywhere. But where the party's at is inside Travel Quest Network, inside our members only Facebook group. So if you are in our Facebook group, please chat with us because that's what keeps the show lively and fun. We always like to share our wins and challenges and talk about just, what's going on in your world. Now, today, I have one of my favorite co-hosts that I get to bring on, and he's mixed up his set a little bit. I always like to be the one that has the best set when it comes to live streaming, but I think he's trying to I think the gauntlet has been thrown. So with that, I'd like to welcome my guest and co-host, Jason Block, the CEO of Travel Quest Network. Hey, Jason.
Good afternoon, Joshua, and everybody else. How you doing?
Um, so I talked to you earlier today, and you did
Yep.
not have that beautiful office that you've got going on right now.
I have been locked away in the basement, literally and figuratively, doing training and recording, as you know. And this is the first time I've gotten to show off my new little backdrop here, so I'm pretty excited about
So see, guys, you get to be here for the debut. You get to be here for the debut,
It's still coming together, but I couldn't let you have all the fun, right? I mean,
right?
gotta
It
mix it
just
up.
it. Hey, as long as you keep up in the game, right? That keeps me in it, right?
Good, good.
Well, it is always a pleasure to have you as a co-host on the show. Um,
Good to be
so
here.
I know we're gonna have a great time, but I think it's time. The chat's already been popping while we were in countdown. So I'm gonna pop over there and see what's going on
All
in the
right,
chat. Okay.
let's
All
do it.
right. Let's see. Debbie says, "Good afternoon, everyone." Debbie, thank you for joining us. Cynthia from Birmingham. Hello, happy Friday, all. So good to see you. And Alan, who I got to spend some time with during, just a few weeks ago with Travel Quest World and all the events that
Mhm.
we had around Travel Quest World. He said, "Hello, about to board to Chicago, so I'll miss out on this week, but my win is I have 7 clients in destination currently and had 4 of them rebook on site for next year."
Awesome.
What
Gotta
a
love that.
win. Yes, congratulations, Alan. And safe travels, wherever you're headed to.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, he said he was going to Chicago, so he is on his way to Chicago. See, he did kind of give me a hint. I just kind of missed out on that. All right. Hannah said, "Happy Friday, everyone." Happy Friday to you, Hannah. Thank you for always tuning in. Um, Cynthia has a win for us this week. She said she has been chosen for the STAR program at Cruise World in November in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
I
very
don't
cool.
I don't know what the STAR program is. Do you know, Jason?
I know enough to be dangerous, like most things. I won't
Gotcha.
claim to be an expert on it, but I do recall it being an advisor element to that event, and
Fantastic.
you have to apply. So yeah, that's very cool.
Well, Cynthia is just taking over things. I love it. Um, Debbie said, "Happy Friday, headed to Springs for the weekend."
Oh,
Well, I'm
nice.
jealous. I'm
Right.
absolutely jealous. Um, and she also had to share that she had some wins that turned into challenges. So
Wow.
she's given us a little bit of mystique there. We don't know necessarily what that means. Um,
It's just begging, like, ask me more.
yeah, exactly. Are you trying to get us to fish for more, Debbie? I'm not sure.
I'm
Um,
curious.
Debbie from Squim, Washington. She said, "Happy Friday, y'all." And Sarah is joining us here for a little bit. Finally, she hasn't been able to join us for a good bit. So, Jason, I don't know if
Welcome back.
Sarah will do it, but we like to do it. Sometimes she does a screenshot of the show. So
Okay.
she posts. So let's give her like a countdown and then a pose, okay? So or a pose and then a countdown so she can get a
I'm not
picture if
very
she
good at doing
wants.
poses, but I'll give it a shot.
Well, you could like hold up that palm tree in the back. I don't I
Let's
don't know.
here. This
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta. All right, ready? One, two, three. All right, anybody joining us right during that moment is going to be like, what the heck is going
What have
on?
I stumbled into? Yeah.
Yes. All right, and then now I got to get my screen back here. Brenda is watching. Lena said hello, and TGIF, everyone. Our Amy is watching. And I have to give a shout out to our Amy. Uh, she always tunes in when we do the weekly chatter. And yesterday she tuned in for, I've been doing these agent profiler workshops, Jason, and it's all about digging in deep, really, taking your agent profiler maybe from nothing to super agent status, which is kind of
Yep. Huge
exciting.
opportunity. Huge opportunity.
Yeah, huge opportunity. Or just refining the profile that you have published. Well,
Yep.
Amy was working overtime in the Q&A area in that show yesterday, or in that workshop yesterday, because we had loads of questions, and I just have to give a big, big shout out and thank you to Amy for joining, because I didn't even know she was going to join, and I was just rabbiting on. I was talking so much that I never got to my Q&A. So thank you, Amy, for helping me.
And for those of you who are wondering, Joshua is saying our Amy, not our Amy. Like ours, not her first initial.
Oh yeah, yeah, our Amy. Yes, our Amy. Thank you. I never thought about that. Like R. Kelly, our Amy.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna go there, but then I decided not to. But I'm glad.
Uh, yeah, you let me go there. You're like, okay, yeah. All right. Cheyenne said, "When completed my CTC with the Travel Institute. What a relief to
Cool.
have done that. That's a
Yeah.
big
Awesome.
accomplishment.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
It's not just a couple of videos, right, Jason?"
No, it's not. No, that's awesome. Well done.
And for those of you who don't know, now Cheyenne can put the CTC. It's a Certified Travel Consultant. Isn't that what it stands for?
I believe so. Yes.
I believe so. So now she can put those credentials beside her name wherever she wants. It is what a way to go get that knowledge, elevate yourself, as well as elevate the industry that you're a part of. So kudos to you, Cheyenne. I'm so proud of you. Um, all right, and she goes by Christine on Facebook, but I have heard that I can call her Christy. She said, "Howdy, everyone. My win is my I okay. So I guess she's been updating us on a client that has had COVID. She said they're finally in destination. So I assume that she doesn't have COVID, but anyway, finally in destination. Very happy for you,
Good.
Christy." Let's see. Diana said, "Happy Friday, everyone." And Cynthia from Birmingham, Jason, she's giving you a personal welcome to the show.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh,
I feel warm and fuzzy now.
yeah. And Lena's giving you props on your map.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
So love the print. So guys, when he joined, we were already in countdown, so I've got music pumping in my ear, and I couldn't really see him. And he was talking about his office and how he just rekitted it out, but I couldn't quite see it until we went live. So I got to see it the same time you did. And yes, I'm jealous as heck about that map because some people just have a boring map. No, Jason had to have a little bit of an extra map back there.
Yeah, yeah, and I gotta say, my wife is not a huge fan of it because my office sits like right when you walk in our front door. And let's just say the multicolor map does not go with our motif, whatever that's supposed to be. So she's asked that when we're not broadcasting that the map comes down.
Oh,
So I
oh,
want you all to
Jillian.
write in and say how much you love the map, regardless of how it clashes with everything else.
We'll have to talk to Jillian next time we're around her. We're gonna have to say that that's a little too much work for you to have to take it down every time.
I
Oh
will
my
say her taste is much better than mine. So
We'll give her that. We'll definitely give her
yeah.
that. Let's see. Welcome, Jason from Debbie. Welcome, Jason from Christy. Let's see. Hannah, my win for this week was the announcement that my business has been voted best travel agency in the South Sound for 2022. Pretty darn excited and already had 4 new inquiries since it was announced. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool.
How exciting is that? And Hannah, I just want to ask, because when that is a strategy for building your brand awareness to really get involved in your community, take advantage of different types of awards and different types of programs that are within your community. Is this something that you went after, or did someone nominate you for it? If you could just share, how that even came into your world, because that not only to get that as something that you can tout on your website and in the boilerplate for your press releases, but you get 4 inquiries out of it. It's a pretty amazing thing. So we'd love to know how that came to be. So please share that with us. And congratulations.
Yeah, very, very cool. Well done.
Daniela, happy Friday. Diana said, my win for this week is 4 families signed the contract and paid my fee. That's a
Yes.
topic very close to your heart, isn't it, Jason?
Yeah, it sure is. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, but that's great.
Yeah. Diana, share a little bit more about 4 families. Let's find out where they're going. Tell us how that came to be. Let's see. I'm trying to get through here. Um, oh, Daniela has some great news to share with us. Received
Yeah.
her first request for 2025.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so some people,
I can't believe it's. I gotta stop here. Like I still am having trouble wrapping my head around that it's already August,
well,
and
yeah,
part of it's because my birthday is in August, and I'm like feeling like, oh gosh, I'm another year older now. And but time is just going by so quickly. So to hear we're talking about bookings in 2025, it's just like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Right.
It isn't it August 25th? I
It is. That's
I
right.
think it is.
I'll be
Wow,
27.
you will. So, yeah, so yeah, time keeps on ticking, but yeah,
I know.
2025. So guys, if you're working on 2023, Daniela's one up just. She's gone on to 2025. So, that's so exciting. She said some people still plan ahead. Love to hear
Yeah.
that. Oh, and Lacey, who I also know is AKA Pixie. She said, when one of the folks I met during the social media expedition at Disney that we just did after Travel Quest World
Uh
contacted me about a future trip. We started chatting about my dress and it led to chatting about what I do and her asking for my card. So does this mean my dresses can be a tax write-off? And then she said, only half kidding there. Um, Way to go. So Jason, I don't know if you got a chance to check out the photos, because we shared just a few of the photos from the social media
Yeah.
expedition.
Some yes.
But Pixie has themed outfits. I mean, I thought I was the bearer of the torch of outfits. No, 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 no. She had full
Yes,
on
indeed.
outfits. She had
Nice.
she had 50th anniversary Disney outfits. She had a Sorcerer's Apprentice outfit, and this wasn't. I mean, this was just head to toe, just touches of class all the way around. And what I love that she said about this. So, we were together doing the social media expedition, going around the park, learning about sharing best practices, doing different missions around social media. Um,
Hmm.
but she dressed the part. of a Disney expert, and she was the conversation starter. And here she says, "Hey, I got to chatting with somebody and got to give them my card." I mean, you can't ask for more. I mean, l- be known for what you do and
I
make
was just gonna say that's always what you say is be decide what you want to be known for. So
yeah, and make it easy. Sometimes it could be as simple as wearing a name tag and
mhm.
making it easy for people to come and introduce themselves to you. But you know, if the sequins fit, wear them. And just, I mean, plenty of people come and ask me what I do, but I don't know if it quite syncs up the same. Pixie,
You look like you're about to come out and sing the national anthem at a Dodgers game. Like
uh, I feel like didn't Elton John have an LA Dodgers sequin jacket? I feel like that.
I'm
I
sure.
was having one of those days where I needed a little extra umph, so I said, you know what, this is what I'm gonna
I
wear
love it.
for the
I
weekly
love
chatter.
it.
All right, so Matthew won a permanent client right off the bat with only one quote. So that's pretty
A
cool.
permanent client?
Well,
What does that mean?
I have a feeling he just means it's going to be an ongoing client. Like
That's a very good thing.
yeah, he knows, but he got it
What?
with one quote. And you always say, don't go and do 15 quotes for somebody. Um, that's part of the whole, like, make sure that they've got some skin in the game.
Right.
Uh, and
I
good
just
for
didn't know
him.
if he tied him up and said, you're not allowed to go anywhere and you can only work with me.
Jason, I did
That's
think it
good.
was a good idea
Sorry,
to,
I'm in a little bit of a goofy mood.
yeah, I thought it was going to be a great idea to have you as my co-host today, but I feel like we've done R. Kelly and now yeah, tied people up. I'm not ready for this. Anyway, let's see. Lots of kudos for Cheyenne, for Hannah. And Cheyenne did confirm that CTC stood for Certified Travel Counselor. I wanted to make sure that I got that right. All right, and okay. Here's someone that we've known for a long time, Kara. She said, "Win for the week. I crunched some numbers and realized I've made more so far this year with my travel business than I will take home from my corporate job all year. Trying to work
Wow.
on dropping corporate job for just travel now that I know these numbers."
That's awesome, Kara. It's
I
pretty
I
exciting, right? I mean, that's fantastic.
I feel like this is kind of a segue for you to go into know your numbers.
Would you like a segue? Or?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying it's a topic very near and dear to your heart, and I love the fact that she
Well, what's,
said,
what's funny, Joshua and Kara, is those are the first thing that came to my mind was that's not the first time we've heard that very
right,
in the last handful of weeks. We're starting to hear that from more and more of the Travel Quest Network member agencies. Is that this year has been difficult, right? But it's also been extremely profitable, and so many people are seeing personal best years and exactly the kind of thing that Kara said that their travel business is now producing more than their full time job was, and that they're on a clear path, if not right now, very soon, to where they can leave that other job and pursue their passion in travel full time. And I know for so many of you that is your goal, and I think it's so great and rewarding for our team when we hear about your successes and that is happening, right? Um, and as Joshua said, you do need to know your numbers. You need to understand some of the key metrics, like how much time does it take you to generate a transaction, and not just the amount of time that you spend booking or selling, but all of the different activities, waiting on hold, talking, doing your pre and post departure communications and post return communications, all those kinds of activities that relate to an individual transaction, so you can continue to refine that and get it more efficient, which allows you more time to invest into other areas of your business or to take on more transactions or even just take a break from time to time. Um, so getting, understanding that metric really clearly, understanding how much revenue per transaction you're able to drive, and then setting goals and getting incremental improvements. And so, if you're not at the point where, Kara is yet, and you want to be there, I think it's a very achievable thing, really, no matter where you are on that spectrum, to identify an incremental goal, identify a couple of quick strategies that you can take to make progress towards that goal, implement it, measure it, and then just you keep repeating it, and eventually you'll find that you're where you want to be, and good things happen. So I'm so happy to hear that, Kara. And just more broadly, we're seeing that and hearing that from so many people, and that's awesome. That's awesome. That's kind of the name of the game. So
Yeah.
congratulations. I'm pumped for you.
Yeah. I I don't know if you have experienced this, but she said, I crunched the numbers, and this is what I figured out. But I have worked with many entrepreneurs, and there is sometimes a fear of knowing the numbers, especially in the beginning when you're not
Yeah.
dealing with Scrooge McDuck kind of coin going around, right? You know what I mean? Like when you're not, your bank account is not full, and you're rolling in it. So
Yep.
so you kind of put, it's the mindset, let me put that off. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to look at my numbers and start to drill down on some of those. What are my benchmarks? What are the
Yeah.
numbers that I can move, and how can I set myself up for little wins that turn into windfalls later? Um, but there is that fear of knowing numbers, or kind of digging in. It's almost like, oh, I'll just wait until later, and then I'll figure what that might look like.
Yeah. And kind of the flip side of that, I think, Joshua, and I know we've seen it, and then we've seen it in other industries. Probably the saddest thing when you talk about business and entrepreneurs is when you have somebody who has a lot of passion, but they're not able to channel that passion in a clear direction, and they spin in circles, and there's a ton of activity. They're the duck on the water, and their legs are moving 1,000 miles an hour, but they're really not going anywhere. um, and I would say there, to your point, there's no better time, no matter where you are in your journey, than right now. There's no better time than right now to figure out where you actually are and where you actually want to go. And I'll throw a plug for those of you who haven't done it yet. Go to Into Pro and the Manage tab. Play with the sales plan generator. You could have not sold anything, and just put in you're at zero, and you want to get to whatever you want to get to, and start to understand some of those different KPIs from how you get from A to B. And no matter how big or small that incremental goal you want to set is, it will give you a place to start and a way to understand how you can actually impact your results. And again, you can be very aggressive. You can say, I want to double my profit in the next year, or you could say, it could be a far more manageable goal. But no matter the goal, the important thing is to understand, how you get to the end result you're looking for. So I hope all of you do that, or if you haven't done it already.
Yeah, so he said a small plug, but I think it's a huge feature that if you're not looking for it, you might miss it. So go into the Pro Portal, and it's under Manage, the left navigation that says Manage, and then it's called Sales Plan Generator. It is a super easy tool to use, and it's going to help you play with your numbers, like you said, play with your numbers and come up with a sales plan that you
Yeah.
can hold yourself accountable to. And you know what, it might seem like pie in the sky in the beginning, but if you really work those numbers, and you're monitoring that activity, you're going to reach your goals. You're going to reach your goals, but you got to know what those goals are to start with, right?
Yep. And I think, it's almost a fun. I won't call it a game because it's more serious than a game, but it's fun if you go in there think about what that ultimate profit target that you have is. That amount of profit that you want to generate from your business that will allow you to do the things you want to do, right? And I don't want to make it sound like too, let's hold hands and sing kumbaya. But think about the things you really want to achieve in this business, and there's an amount of profit that will allow you to do those things, and put that in and see, okay, when it comes to how many prospects do you need to attract, how many proposals do you need to generate, how many proposals do you need to close, what's your average sale need to be, and just get a picture. For whatever that profit target is, get a picture for what those values will need to be, and just by doing that and kind of dreaming or envisioning what that future state could be, your mind is going to start to make decisions, make choices to say, okay, well, if I need an average transaction value of $6,000 to hit my target, and I'm only at 4,500. Okay, well, what can I do differently that will impact that? Well, you can consider what products are you selling? What kinds of clients are you attracting? What are your upsell strategies? There's all sorts of different things you can do to impact that number. Um, but every little stage of the sales funnel, you can start to think about those things. And if you even spend 10 minutes kind of going through that dreaming exercise or envisioning the future exercise, it'll start to impact the choices you make. And if you can then bring yourself to be even a little bit more intentional about it, and structure some on purpose experiments or on purpose steps that you're going to take to impact your close rate or your proposal request rate or how many prospects you're able to generate in a certain period of time. That's where you can really see quick movement, month over month and year over year. And again, like Joshua said, before you know it, you're going to look up and be like, dang, I did it, you know? And then it's
Not,
time to set an even higher.
yeah, and now what?
Yeah, well, and you know what? Maybe that's the best question in business to be able to ask yourself. And now what?
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. And that
Yeah,
sales plan generator,
go check that out.
what'd you say?
I said, so go check that out.
Yeah, please go check it out. It's super easy to play with, and it's not something that I Jason called it a game. I want to make sure that you don't think it's like Space Invaders. It's definitely not that type of a game. Although I'm sure we could go there at some point. But yeah, it can be fun. Playing with the numbers, and you can do it over and over again. You're not locking anything in. It's not like when you set up your QuickBooks and you lock different things in, and you're locked in. You don't have to do that. You can play with it, and it's much easier to play with numbers and kind of manipulate them to see where see where you can have some impact, where maybe that's not realistic for you, and like you
Yeah,
said, you can start to make decisions. It's almost like back of the napkin, uh, back of the napkin math. It's just dive in and do it, and it can start to shape those decisions that you're going to make in the future. So, yes, I'm glad that we went there. Kara, so
I was gonna
proud
say,
of
boy,
you.
that was a long segue. Sorry.
No, no, hey, otherwise we could just be, these guys know. I was by myself last week. Well, I said I was by myself last week, but Michelle made a point to say, I'm never by myself because of all the Tropic Quest Network members. And we could have probably gone on for several hours. So, no, that was wonderful. But we are talking about sales.
Yeah.
And I think this would be a great time to do our top three positions in invoiced anticipated revenue, what was invoiced in the
All right.
last 7 days. So, guys, again, this is the revenue, the anticipated revenue that was invoiced in the last 7 days. The reason why we focus on revenue is, why do we do that, Jason?
Because sales doesn't matter. It's about how much profit you're able to generate.
Right.
So, we started about a year ago saying, you know what, sales are predictive of revenue and profit, but in the travel business, for those of you new to the business, this was one of the weirdest things, like sales and revenue are different. Um, I think it's the only industry where that's the case that I've come across, at least. So, revenue is far more important. It's what really matters, and so that's what we talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's the weirdest thing. I came from the retail world, and somebody would say sales, and I'd be like, that's wonderful sales. Oh, but the revenue is this. What? That didn't make any sense. Well, anyway, our top three positions. Our first one, $14,342. Congratulations. And the thing I want to highlight about these numbers too, these are by individual agents, so not just the agency. So this is these sales figures are by individual agent. I don't want anybody to be confused by that. The number two position, 13,535.
Pretty close. Really good. Almost there. Almost there.
Yes. Third position, not too far behind,
Ooh,
13,419.
nice.
Yes. Oh, I got to give some applause there.
Strong. Those are some good weeks. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, well done, guys. And last week we had an enormous group that was invoiced. So the numbers were the first position was way, way out there. So it was nice to see these numbers be a little bit. I mean, although that was great to see that huge number come through, it's nice to see these kind of uh, in the same vein there. So if you're
Yeah.
using these numbers to track what's going on with your business, uh, this these were our top invoiced anticipated revenue for the last 7 days. What are you going to invoice this week? Just saying.
Yeah. And
And
and also, look, if you're relatively new to business, don't let those numbers discourage you. I mean, they should, you know, show you what is possible and show you what some of the leading advisors are doing. But don't let it discourage you if you're nowhere near that yet. That's okay, and I promise you, in their first year, they weren't there either.
exactly, exactly. And a way that the kind of how what we blah, 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 let me start that all over again. We started doing that because during the pandemic, there were agencies that were selling nothing and some that were still trucking. And this is kind of tracking these numbers each week, just a gauge of what's going on in the industry. So while you might be at $13 this week, this is just a way for you to kind of gauge, the ups and the downs, how people, what the level of interest is in travel. And right now, the level of interest in travel is high. So
Here it is.
it's a very, very, very promising. All right, so I'm going to jump back over to the chat because the chat has still been popping off. I just love you guys tuning in each week and getting together as a group. Jason, I know you watch even when you're not the co-host, but
I tried.
it's kind of fun to see everybody supporting each other in our members only Facebook group.
Yes, it is for sure.
Uh,
Absolutely.
all right, so Christy, who was talking about her COVID client, it was not COVID, and we're not going to get into all the details, but she just said that her clients are finally in Greece. So that's all we needed to say. It's just Christy, the way you worded that, I couldn't tell what was going on. So be mindful, guys. I'm just reading the chat. I don't necessarily know all the whole backstory on things, and that has got me into a little bit of trouble. Let's see. Oh, and our Amy, who was with us, with Pixie and myself, and the rest of our team at the social expedition at Disney, she is promising to send Pixie some photos from our time at Epcot. We got to Jason. I wish you could have come and hung out with us, but we as a big group we got to watch Harmonious at Epcot. The what's that? Fireworks, lasers,
Fireworks
projections,
extravaganza.
everything. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's an extravaganza. It really is. But what was so cool is our Celeste. She made sure that she got prime real estate at the American Pavilion. So I mean, she blocked out all of this front row footage for us, and so we all just got
Nice.
to meet up with her and an unadulterated view of Harmonious. So we got to take some
Very
pictures
cool.
there. Rebecca is joining us. Happy Aloha Friday, everyone. I'm going to call her our resident Hawaii expert because she is our Hawaii expert. She dominates when it comes to people searching for Hawaii experts. In my opinion, she does. Let's see. Hi, friends. This is Lisa. She said, "Happy Friday. Win four large family." Sorry, that I read that all in one go. That did not sound interesting. Win four large family groups in the books come 2023. So we got
Nice.
2023. We got 2025. Can I get a 2024 out there? Uh, le- somebody, let me know what's going on in 2024. Let's see. And
But don't
Rebecca,
forget, don't forget about 2022. We're not done yet.
uh, well, thank you for reminding me. You'd already kind of like buried it. You were like, my birthday's come around again. I'm another year older. Like, I kind of jumped off that subject right there. Yes, keep on selling 2022. In fact, you know that there's some suppliers where there's some very nice incentives for those things that are booked and traveled within 2022. Just
Right.
not gonna name drop there, but you guys know who I'm talking about. All right, Rebecca, Hawaii expert Rebecca. She said her win just booked a 4 Hawaiian island trip for a client, $20,000 booking, and we haven't even booked the activities yet.
Nice.
I
Well done.
swear, better sound effects. Way to go! Congratulations. Um, All right, so Tyson said, "Hey boys, happy Friday. Jason, thanks for the mail today. Much appreciated."
What do you bet?
Are we going to leave that secret? You
No,
still
I
secret?
sent him and the other Questy Award winners a congratulation card.
Congratulations, Tyson,
Yeah,
and the rest of the Questy winners. And if you guys are new,
absolutely.
I always forget this. Not only are Travel Quest Network members watching us, but some of our travel partner friends are watching us, or people who are thinking about joining Travel Quest Network are watching. And the Questies are our annual awards. We had our second annual awards celebration just a couple weeks ago, where we honored some of our members who had reached some amazing achievements in the last year, Tyson being one of them. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And yeah, and if you want to come be a part of this magic, go to travelquestnetwork.com. There's my plug, Jason. And then Tyson went on to say wins. So wins, plural, not just win. Started booking 2023 groups. My first Make a Wish family went to Disney, and we won my city's local best award for the second year in a row.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like a really good week.
Yeah. Now, how are you going to top it next week, Tyson? I'm just saying.
Like, give him 5 minutes to enjoy this week.
Yes. You can have your 5 minutes. Congratulations, Tyson. That's so exciting for you. Um, let's see. Sorry, I gotta go through. There's some chat going on between our members, which is always a great thing to see. Um, so Kara, just kind of tacking on to what she was saying about doing her numbers. She said, "Thanks. Next hurdle is convincing hubby that it's a good idea to quit corporate America. It is a family decision, isn't it?" Let's see. Um, oh, and Texas Rebecca, because I got Aloha Rebecca and I got Texas Rebecca here. She said Jason's map for the win, best decor, and Josh rocks
Yes.
the best Friday outfit with the sequin jacket. Thank you.
You're
And
very
look,
gracious, Rebecca. Thank you.
would you say?
She's very gracious. Thank you.
Yeah. And I love, yeah, she threw me a bone too. Like, Jason's not.
She makes both of it.
I love it. All right, let's see. Hold on, guys. You guys are really chatting it up here. Um, so Hannah, talking about the award that she won, it was a total surprise to have been nominated, and I really didn't promote the voting period much, to be honest. She said because it seemed like such a long shot, but here we are. I want to speak to that because I think
Go
there
for
are
it.
a lot of local opportunities like those best of lists that we just think, oh well, there's 100 other people and they've been doing it longer than me. I'm not even going to bother with it.
Mhm.
Uh, But what's the reality, Jason? I know that I know you know the answer to this.
Well, I think the reality is a lot of people do say, I'm not going to bother, and they don't bother. And there's others who maybe they have been doing it for a long time. Maybe they think they would be great at it, and then they don't think it's a big deal because they got other things they're worried about or whatever, and then they just don't do it.
Yeah,
But that falls right within that category. If you don't try, then what are your odds of success? Well, you're zero, right? So
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and I will be. I've been on many different community committees for different things, and half of the time there's no one nominated for these categories, and someone has to go make somebody up. Like, oh yes, the best Thai restaurant. It's the one that I went to last night. It's the only one I can think of, right? That is the honest to goodness truth. So I just yeah, please try, um, and I definitely don't. My advice, and again, I'm full of opinions, but my advice is I wouldn't pay pay to play in those situations where you pay to get an award or to get some sort of recognition. I think some of the communities have, what it might be something where, they have contributions to the community, which you are, you're making an impact in your community that then allows you to take part of it. But a lot of the publications and things like that, they've got these awards, and they will sell you on the idea of this prestigious badge that you can get, and it's only $850 for you to apply to possibly win this award. I'm not a big fan of those, but there are so many other opportunities out there, whether it's the best travel business, the up and coming travel entrepreneur under a certain age. I mean, there's quite a few different things that you can do from a publicity standpoint to get to garner some recognition for your brand. So definitely make that a part of your marketing plan to do that type of outreach as long as it doesn't overtake you. I mean, you got to make sure you got your sales plan, you're tweaking your numbers, you're reaching your goals, you're doing your benchmarks. But very, very excited for you. That's so exciting. Let's see, and just lots of kudos to Pixie's outfits. Pixie, if you will share, I don't think you can share a photo in this chat, but if you will share a couple of photos from the social media expedition of your outfits in the members only Facebook group, I'm sure everyone would love to see them if they didn't notice them in the ones that we shared earlier. I mean, I felt like I had to compete with her. I had a silver parasol. I thought I could compete with her, but I couldn't. I mean, she was the full deal. Oh my goodness. And Jen said, my win for this week, I visited 5 airports in one day and made it to my final destination the same day. She's not telling
Oh
us where
my,
she went to, but it's pretty impressive.
that sounds like a pretty long day.
Yeah, it sounds like a really long day.
You win for surviving that trek.
Exactly. Maybe a new Questy category.
Yeah, most connections of the day.
That is amazing. Uh, so Emily said, "Happy Friday, all. Was a little late, but listening in while getting her workout in today finally. So, multitasking, go for it.
Good.
Well, thank you for joining us. Let's see here. Okay, hold on a second. Uh, so Christy, who was in the launching your travel business sessions that we did at Travel Quest World, which Jason, in a minute, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that. Um, she was responding obviously to us talking about numbers, probably getting to know your numbers, but she said, I'm
Mhm.
guilty of that. Sometimes I really feel like the duck in water. The workshop from Travel Quest World really has helped me focus, which I'm so happy to
Awesome.
hear. But will
Yeah.
you share with everybody a little bit about what we did at Travel Quest World?
Sure. So, Joshua and I have been working on some course content for quite a while now, and we've done bits and pieces of it in certain places, but we've never done the bulk of it all in one spot in one kind of workshop. So it was a 2 day dual part optional workshop at Travel Quest World that was around launch your travel business, and we're actually in the process of turning it into an expanded version, into a full course, because even across it was two 4.5 hour sessions, I think, and even across those, we had to rush through a number of things. We could not get through everything. So, we had created, I don't know the total, but it's probably somewhere around 20 plus hours of course content. So we've been in the process of recording that, but really it's about getting clarity on what you're really trying to achieve, understanding how your niche selection, or how you go about defining a specialty, and how that impacts your numbers, how you create a sales plan, how you create a sales system, or how you convert customers, how you create a marketing system to attract prospects, and how you create a service system for turning all of your customers into repeat buyers and referral generators, right? So it's kind of a life cycle view to make sure that you have the best opportunity to launch your business quickly, successfully, with great confidence, and start the revenue producing as quickly as you can. So we're converting that into a much more in-depth course, and hopefully that will be launching soon. So it was really fun to do, in a live environment. So I don't know if we'll be able to replicate some of those aspects in a virtual course, but it was really great to hear, especially talking about the niche selection process and some of the ideas that people had for their niche specialty. Um, it was I don't know, it was really cool. I enjoyed it. It was a long session, but I think a lot of people left with very good feedback. And I'm glad to hear that at least some of you are already able to draw some benefits from that, because I think that is one of the most dangerous things about being an entrepreneur is, I mean, when you start a business, it takes a certain level of confidence, right? And you think when you start any business that you are capable, right? And you are. And that's kind of the curse of the entrepreneur. I mean, just that mindset that you can do it's a blessing and a curse, because every idea you come across, you might have loads of great ideas, and any single one of them, I'm sure you can be successful at. Where we get ourselves into trouble, and I have fought this battle my entire adult life, as a business owner, is trying to stay focused. And it's probably the single hardest thing to do in business. It's harder than bringing in customers. It's harder than making sales. It's harder than generating profit. The ability to say no, I am not going to pursue that idea, I find incredibly difficult. But when you do it, you can also see it can be incredibly powerful and rewarding, because now you're focusing all of your energy and your creativity and your passion, and you're concentrating it like a laser on something very specific. And when you do that, you can go really fast, really far, um, and achieve an awful lot of success. And so that sometimes as entrepreneurs, we get ourselves in trouble because we have a great idea, and if that's the only thing we ever had to do, we could pursue it, and we could do it. But the reality is, that's rarely the only thing that we have to do, right? And in the travel space, when you talk about different specializations, I mean, if you add up all the here's a crazy stat for you, and I don't want to spend too long on this, but if you add up all the different specialties, different destinations, different products, different kinds of travel, right? Different kinds of clients, different client interests, all those different variables, right? There are well over 1 million different niche specializations in the travel industry. Now, when you try to wrap your mind around that and say, I'm going, if you don't have any kind of specialization at all, if you just say you're going to take whatever comes in, you're effectively saying that you are going to be an expert in over 1 million specialties. And when you put it like that, you'll think, well, that's obviously insane, right?
Right.
So the whole idea is, it isn't about saying I only sell this one product, but it's saying that's where I'm going to develop my expertise. That's what I'm going to be known for. That's where I'm going to focus my client attraction efforts in. If Sally, my friend, comes and she wants to, me to book something else, that's fine. But when you can really specialize yourself into a specialization that has the right level of profitability, that you can have the right level of efficiency to hit your profit target, well, that's the name of the game, right? So the course kind of goes into all of those various things.
I Yeah, and no one has enough of a marketing budget to support over 1 million different
No,
specialities.
right.
I
Not
can
even
say,
Expedia or
yeah.
Booking.com. Like there's things they choose not to do.
I can safely say that. I think being uh, being an entrepreneur is one of the hardest things in the whole wide world, and it's not cut out for everybody. And part of that creativity and that spirit that makes an entrepreneur is exactly what you were describing. Loads of great ideas, but the discipline to say, just because I'm not going to chase that particular great idea doesn't mean it's not a great idea. I can write that down. Maybe I can come back to it later. But to harness yourself and focus yourself, that's really where the power is. But it's a struggle. If you feel like that duck, that's treading the water, just know you're not the only one. It's kind of the curse of the entrepreneur. I think we could make like a black and white movie and call it The Curse of the Entrepreneur. Like, I'm going to
Yeah,
make $1 million with 1 million different specialties.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, Christy, I'm so glad that you were an active participant in the Launching Your Travel Business workshops that we did at Travel Quest World on Independence of the Seas just a few weeks ago. But for those of you who didn't get to come, be on the lookout. If you joined the all call was it last week, Jason? I'm losing track of my days. I mean, hello,
I think it
2022 is almost over.
was last week. Yes.
But if you missed the all call, and that's our monthly all member call with our team where we give you updates. Please go into Pro and then go to episodes, and you can see the recording of the all call. And we're talking about our new education portal that's going to be launching very soon called Passport. And you're going to find this content there, as well as some other phenomenal pieces of content are gonna be in there. We're very very excited about this. We our goal on the roadmap was Travel Quest World and then get to the passport, right, Jason?
You got it.
Yep. So we've got that coming to you, and thank you for all of you who did participate in the workshop because it helps us when we workshop these programs to make them better. So thank you for participating in that. So anyway, more to come on that. Oh, Jen is chiming in. She joined us on the social expedition that we did as Travel Quest Network. She said definitely learned a lot that day. LOL, because there were lots of laughs to be had. And let me just tell you, Jason, you really know a Disney travel expert when they are watching the weather and directing you on which rides to go on so you can kind of avoid a massive storm that's in transit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and Pixie did that for us. She had us routed all throughout.
So you all weren't there when there was all of those flash floods that I've been reading about.
um,
The
well,
last couple of days, I swear I saw a bunch of articles that like Main Street was flooded and things like that. Or my
well,
my making in
that
my
is
head.
not when we were there. There were just massive storms, but when I was there
Okay.
in May, I got to experience one of those floods, and that was not something that I was expecting. Um, but yeah, it was fascinating because she was watching her phone and she's like, "Okay, guys, we got to do the Frozen sing along right now because something's about to happen." And do you know I've never seen Frozen, so
What?
I'm in and everybody's just singing their heart out and I'm like, "This is I love to sing and I can't sing any of these. I don't know. I only know. Do you want to build a snowman?" That was the only thing I could do.
You got to check out Frozen. It's actually a great movie. You would
Well, the
like it.
way everybody was singing, I mean, I did get the gist of it, but yeah, it was definitely uh, very, very cool. So I'm just we're about to wrap, but I want to get to something Deborah had had put in the comments here. So she said. So I finally opened my Travel Quest letter to myself from 2021. So in Travel Quest world in the past, we have written a letter to our future self based on kind of all the enthusiasm of the event, some goal setting. So you write this letter to your future self. You close it up, you hand it to us, and then we mail it to you 6 months later. Now she would have gotten this a long time ago. So Deborah said, so she finally got around to opening it. She said it made me teary just reading about the goals I wrote and where I want to see myself in 2022. I worked hard to achieve those goals, but it's fulfilling. So she waited a bit to open that envelope, but definitely felt like she has reached those goals that her past self was thinking she was going to hit in 2022. So that is
I think
amazing.
I think that's fantastic. I love that whole exercise. So if you haven't done it before, if you come to one of our events and we do that, really take a few minutes, write out some thoughts to yourself, and then we'll mail it to you months later. And when it comes, it'll be a surprise, and you'll read it, and you'll think about all the things that you had committed to yourself to doing. Some of them by that point you will have done. Some of them maybe you haven't, but it's a great opportunity to remind yourself of where your focus was at that point in time during the event, and it's a great way for that event to have an impact way beyond when you leave. So I love hearing that's awesome, Deborah, and
And
I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you were there, and I think it can make a difference.
yeah. And you know what, Jason? I think we always do it at Travel Quest World, but I think we
Mm-hmm.
should do it at our road shows too. We've it,
We're
you were you
channeling. We're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, our entrepreneurial minds were just like
Mhm.
triggering that. Okay, got to make that happen. Lots of other comments coming in. Thank you guys for joining us and participating in the show. Robin, I did want to answer your question. You said when you gave the top three numbers, those were commission totals, right? Yes, they're commission totals. That's what we base those numbers off of because that's what you make money off of. So that's what we track there.
Yep.
So thank you guys for tuning in.
Okay.
Jason, thank you for being a great co-host. You are always such a great co-host.
Anytime, have me here. Can I ask? Can I give you one request for future shows? I'm
Yes.
always curious where our network members are going next. Like one of the cool things about being in the travel industry is we have an opportunity to travel places. So I would love to hear next week if people could drop in along with their wins, like where they're going next. Where are they excited to go? What opportunities are they going to take advantage of? I would love to hear that.
Okay. Okay. So as a co-host, Thank you for
I
setting
can't
up the
change my
show.
format.
So I do have a co-host next week, and he will now have to carry the torch on that. Jonathan, make a note of that. We're going to be asking. So yes, we will definitely. That's a great idea. Where are you going next? Is the question, the topic for next week. Jason, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for being
You
a part
too.
of
Thank
this.
you, everybody. Hope everyone has a great weekend.
Yes, you guys take care of yourselves so we can take care of each other. See you next week, Friday at 4. And oh, definitely check the calendar. This coming week, Wednesday at 3, we have Julie from American Airlines Vacations joining Celeste. So you want to tune in for that live. And don't forget about the episodes link on in the navigation over in Pro. That's where you can watch all the recordings of past weekly chatter lives, our webinar Wednesdays, our partner trainings, and our all calls, things like that. So definitely go back to episodes. Maybe you can't tune into everything live, but you can catch the recording there. So until next time, bye.